Now we will talk about statement of purpose. Aman, my colleague, would talk about it in detail with you.
Thank you, Yukti. Hello, everyone. Thanks for taking the wonderful first part of the session. So, what is a statement of purpose? It is primarily a goals essay that describes your background, your vision of the future, and your aptitude for the intended program and of study and academic in general. So if somebody asks you who writes an SOP, a master's degree aspirant, doctor's degree aspirant, and sometimes MBA and UG aspirants are also asked to write a SOP. What does it include? It includes an introduction to your intent area of study. So, for example, if a student wants to study MS in engineering in XYZ university, so the student should be very clear that why he wants to study MS in engineering. Why not masters of technology instead, right? So the intent of area of study should be very clearly highlighted, and to showcase that intent, SOP is required. The goals should be highlighted very clearly. Where do you want to see yourself by pursuing that goals? What do you want to achieve out of that? That's covered in your goals. Any special circumstances, achievements, problems, or inconsistency in your record, your SOP is the place where you can highlight it. For example, if a student has got a backlog for XYZ reason, could be he's sick, he didn't attend the semester, right? So this is the place where you can showcase the information basis that basis the admission committee can take a decision on. Your unique preparation and fitness for graduate studies and specialization. So an SOP is a place where a student can showcase why he is more unique in a pool of thousands of applications, right? So if you're doing a project on robotics, right? So this is the place you can show that this is the unique preparation for this course you have done and how relevant it is for that particular course you are going to pursue in XYZ university. Also, what were your accomplishments, right? So what it basically means that and also, as Yukti has just mentioned, that SOP is different from resume shows what you've achieved, but how you've achieved them, what were your learnings, so those are your accomplishments, and SOP is where you should be highlighting these and reasons for choosing this degree and this particular school. Right? So, as I mentioned, in the introduction, your intent of area of study should be very clear. You should be able to resonate to the university that why you have chosen that university, why you have chosen that particular course, what benefit you're going to get out of studying in that university in that particular course. In fact, if a student can highlight what benefit the university is going to get by giving the student an admit, that'll be an added advantage for the student. How important is the SOP for US institutions? The SOP is the single most important subjective document in your application. And why is that? Because scores do not give a complete picture. The SOP is important as it gives the university admission committee an insight into your motivation, personality, and individuality. SOP is also the only document that conveys your personal voice and perspective to the ADCOM. One important information I always tell my students is that every other document except for SOP, LOR, and resume, we are checked by computers, right? These are the only documents that are checked by a human. And these are also the chances of a student that the more he or she wants to impress the admission committee. So these are the chances, these are the documents the student can impress them from. Um, yeah, it is also the only document that shows your passion and commitment towards your field of interest. It gives you the opportunity to show your alignment with the university's ideologies, academic research focus, and culture establishment, the critical university fit, right? So what it basically means is that, the importance of SOP. Um, you okay, so yeah, so if a student is saying that, I want to pursue career in cultural studies, right, and the university is very diverse in culture. Some universities have 50% international student ratio as well, right? So what it basically reflects is that they are very diverse in international culture, and student can highlight that this is the reason why the student wants to study in that particular university. SOP also explain the stories behind the fact experiences, right? So for example, if a student is mentioning in the resume that they did a project and these were the grades they achieved, right? So an SOP will be the document where they will mention like they got to work with XYZ colleagues of their, XYZ classmates of their, these were the experiences, these were the inputs they shared which led to these XYZ achievements, right? And that are so exactly as I just mentioned, the facts that are mentioned in your resume and your score can be highlighted through experience in the SOP. These facts could be basically average or low scores, change of field, switching careers. For example, if a student is switching careers, moving from engineering to business studies in their masters, so why he or she is moving that, reasoning is very important, challenges that a student has have to overcome to achieve results, motivation behind each academic and professional choice. And SOP also reveals your personality, clarity of thoughts, focus, and characteristic strength that will be relevant to your program. Right? One thing is very important. Mention the facts that are relevant to your program and your career goals. It demonstrates your communication skills. That is very important criteria for university admission. US universities are looking for holistic students, as Yukti just mentioned, and what they want to see is how well a student can communicate their own goals, their own future vision through an SOP. So the SOP thus conveys your uniqueness, strength, and wit, helping you stand apart from the crowd as a ideal applicant. So, are SOP really a tiebreaker between an excellent candidates? When it comes down to choosing the last few candidates from among a pool of contenders with very similar experiences, scores, backgrounds, what will decide the case in your favor? As Yukti just mentioned, these are the improvable factors of an QS application docket, right? So the factors that will decide in your favor are your personal speak about the interest area, your conviction, and your passion, the aptitude and motivation that you have conveyed through your SOP, the interest and ability to contribute in the program, the goals that are your purpose of studying and will be related to your background by the admission committee to understand how well prepared you are to succeed in your degree program. The goals will also help you establish how employable you will be after graduation. Your USPs that the SOP will show through the stories, and none of these can be conveyed through any other components of the application. Thus, the SOP, if written well, can be the edge you need on that final rung to get your university. So what is the difference between statement of purpose and resume? An SOP is academic and research aptitude, whereas resume is academic and research experience. What it basically means is aptitudes are your approach, mindset, motivation, passion. Experiences are your projects, internship, industrial training. SOP is analytical ability, quick to grasp, develop ideas, solve problems, whereas resume is knowledge of technical tools and analytical tools. Learning and growth through taking initiative, overcoming challenges comes under SOP, whereas resume is procedures followed, results achieved. Goals, ambition, dream, and subjective is the information that's captured in SOP, whereas in resume, only past experiences and your objectives. A resume tells us what, whereas the SOP explains why and how.